Hello, today I'll be giving you my top 10 favorite albums of 2018. So, if one of your favorite albums of 2018 isn't on my list, just let me know your list in the comments section below. So, there are many albums that could have made this list, such as Revival by Light the Torch, or KOD by J. Cole, or even the Kid Sees Ghost album, which has definitely gotten better with more listens for me. I liked it when it came out, but I think I appreciate it and enjoy it more now. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into my top 10 list. And this is in no particular order, but we're going to start things off with Kamikaze by Eminem. Sure, lyrically, it's not one of his best albums, but I think it's a pretty enjoyable album. I do like some of the beats. Sure, some of the beats on the album are a little simple. Well, maybe a few, but that's only about it. Only a few, maybe, but I do like Kamikaze, and it's one of those albums for me that gets better the more you listen to it. And some of my favorites on the album are, of course, The Ringer and Not Alike, Lucky You, Greatest, and even the title track. But anyways, next album, Rainier Fog by Alice in Chains. I loved the album when it came out. I don't listen to it as much as when it came out, but I do still go back to certain songs nowadays still, such as, of course, Red Giant, the title track, and the song Maybe, which is pretty underrated in my opinion, and So Far Under, which is maybe my favorite of the singles. But yeah, Rainier Fog is an excellent album. I think it's definitely a step up from the last album, The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here. I believe that's what it's called, but yeah, I like Rainier Fog and definitely deserves to be on my list. Next, we have Victim of the New Disease by All That Remains. In my opinion, it's their best album since maybe For We Are Many. But yeah, I love this album. I'm still enjoying it today. Some of my favorites are Broken, I Meant What I Said, Wasteland, Blood I Spill, and a few others, but I really love Victim of the New Disease. Next, we have Astroworld by Travis Scott. I've loved this album ever since first listen, and there's some. And while I during the first listen, I did enjoy the first half more than the second half. There are songs on the second half that have definitely grown on me, but some of my favorites are Yosemite. What else? Stargazing, Carousel, Sickle Mode, R.I.P. Screw is pretty good. I like how mellow it is and stuff. And Stop Trying to Be God is another song that I really like. And No Bystanders is pretty catchy too. Wake Up is a song that has grown on me. I remember not liking it very much the first time I heard it, but I really enjoy it now, and it's grown to be one of my personal favorites on the album. But yeah, I love Astroworld, and it's maybe my favorite rap album of the year. It might be. But next we have the Black Panther soundtrack. I mean, TDE is a part of it, so I mean, it's got to be good. But I love the soundtrack. Some of my favorites are All the Stars, Pray for Me, X, Big Shot, Paramedics, Ops. So many great songs on the soundtrack, and there are still a few songs on them that still hold up for me, and I think it was definitely well produced. Next, we have Ember by Breaking Benjamin. Um, I do have a few gripes about the album, but overall, I do enjoy the album. I just wish the album overall was a little longer. I think it's like a hair under 40 minutes, so it's like 39 minutes and something seconds or something like that. But and there are a few songs that don't hold up, or at least I don't listen to them as much nowadays as compared to when I did when the album came out. Those songs being "Close Your Eyes" and maybe "Tourniquet," but I still enjoy some of the songs on the album, such as Down, which I think I've heard some people call it filler, but I personally really enjoy it. And I also, Torn in Two is one of my personal favorites, and it's maybe my favorite song on the album. Feed the Wolf and Red Cold River also are some of my favorites, and Psycho is maybe my favorite of the singles. I really love that song. I like the aggression, and I really enjoy that song. But Ember by Breaking Benjamin has to be on my list. But next we have Firepower by Judas Priest. I mean, it's Judas Priest. You gotta put their album on your list because I mean they're legends, and There's still many great songs on the album that I still go back to, such as Trader's Gate, the title track, Rising from Ruins is excellent, and Evil Never Dies is maybe my favorite song on the album. But Firepower is excellent. Next we have Generation RX by Good Charlotte, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect this album to be on my list. I liked it when it came out, but I didn't think I'd like it enough to have it be on my list. But I don't know. I've gone back to this album more than I expected. I mean, I'm still really enjoying the album. Some of my favorites are Self Help, Shadow Boxer, Actual Pain, Leech, and California, which I know I've heard some fans not say that they don't like the song, but I personally enjoy it. If I remember correctly, I believe that song was dedicated to their kids, but I really enjoy that song, and I think it was a good album closer. But I don't know, I really enjoy Generation RX. Now, comparing it to Youth Authority, it's kind of hard because there are some certain aspects of Youth Authority that I like more than Generation RX, and vice versa with Generation RX. I think the songwriting on Generation RX is definitely stronger than on Youth Authority, but at the same time, the enjoyment, in terms of enjoyment value, I think Youth Authority wins that battle. But I don't know. I enjoy both albums, but Generation RX definitely will have to be on my list, and it's definitely a surprise for me. But next we have All I See Is War by Seven Dust. I remember first time I heard it, I really enjoyed the album, but I think like maybe a few weeks later, there was definitely a time where the album was not really sticking with me, if you know what I mean. But recently I've been going back to the album more and more, and it's an excellent album. I mean, sure, there is definitely tracks that are better than others or more stronger, but it's definitely an enjoyable album, and songs like Sickness and Risen have definitely grown on me. I thought they were pretty average when I first heard them, but they've definitely grown on me and grown to be maybe one of my favorites, or some of my favorites on the album. But now the album closer, The Truth, is one of the heaviest songs on the album, and it's always been one of my favorites ever since first listen of the album. I love that song. But All I See Is War is a great album, and if you haven't heard it, definitely check it out. But it's definitely one of my favorites of the year. Now we're going to end things off with Outsider by 3 Days Grace, which is another album that I didn't expect to be on my list. Now, I know I'm going to get some flack for putting this album on my list, and that's okay. But sure, the songwriting isn't the greatest, but I mean, sure, the songwriting is a step up from Human, but I don't know, there are still some problems that I have with some of the lyrics on this album. But there are songs on the album that have actually grown on me, such as Me Against You, which I know people give that song crap and about how corny it is and yada yada yada, but I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a guilty pleasure. Love Me or Leave Me is definitely more on the electronic side. That song is semi-grown on me. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but I personally like it. But Villain I'm Not is another song that I enjoy. Chasing the First Time was, in my opinion, is kind of filler, but it has semi-grown on me though. But it definitely sounds like something from like Transit to Venus, but especially the verses. But yeah, there are songs on the album that definitely grown on me, but even some of the favorites that I had for the album when it came out are still songs that I go back to, some of them. But Right, Left, Wrong has always been one of my personal favorites on the album. Same with Infrared, but Infrared might be my favorite song on the album. I really enjoy that song. But yeah, Outsider by 3 Days Grace. So that's my favorite albums of 2018, my top 10. So let me know your top 10 in the comments section below. Let me know your thoughts on my top 10, and let me know some of your favorite songs, some of your least favorite songs of the year, and all that good stuff. But thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and a like. Subscribe. Have a nice day, and take care.